Hey everybody, hope you're having a great weekend. So what is this video about? Well, I don't know how many of you know Mike White, but he's someone who organized these kinds of videos in the past. I always found it really helpful hearing from him and from others about how to improve. So I wanted to pay it forward, give back to all you guys. I reached out to most of the pros over the last 2 years since I've been pro, and gave them a chance to basically tell you guys how they excel in the sport and what makes them such great players and how they got to that point. So I left the prompt pretty open. Some focused on a specific skill, some focused on the mental game, some on health and fitness, some talked about a little bit of everything. So really, before we get into all their tips, I know you guys have heard from me a lot, but I'll share one thing that I think helps me a ton, and that's being a perfectionist. If you've listened to my podcast or you've watched my film review, you probably have heard this a bunch, but really you can't be too happy if you win a point. You got to focus on each specific thing that happened during the point, and what are some things that you could have done better to make that point easier. You can't just be happy with the positive outcomes if you performed poorly during them, and you can't be disappointed in the negative outcomes if you performed well during the point. So yeah, I think that's the best thing that I can tell you, and I'll leave it at that. I'll let all these guys take it away.
What's up, guys? My name is Matt Cole, and here are some thoughts on how to improve your Roundnet game. First thing that I'll say is you have to get really comfortable with the boring stuff, the things that make up the foundation of most points in Roundnet. It's probably more fun to practice the serves and the flashy hits, but most of the time, what is going to win a point, at least with the current rule set, is being able to set and hit with consistency. And so you have to be really comfortable hitting with both your hands with a variety of footwork. You have to be really comfortable setting both in system and a little bit out of system. And those things just have to be really, really dialed in, because if you mess up one of those things and lose the point because of it, that's as big of a deal than if you had just aced the other team with like the best cut serve of your life. And so really can't be giving any of those points away. So you have to get really comfortable with the basics. The other thing that I'll say is that if you are not actively working on your fitness and getting in the gym and that kind of thing, you are handicapping yourself, both for you will not have enough in the tank to make like a long tournament run when it's in the middle of summer and the sun is beating down. And you will also not have that, extra engine to make that 1% play, like that diving set that could turn the course of a match and get you that critical point. At the top level Roundnet, every point matters. And so if you are not setting up your fitness in a way that allows you to get that, to get to that extra gear, whether it's late in the tournament or just at an important point in a singular game, then you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. So work on the basics, work on your fitness, which is also one of the basics, and yeah, you'll be setting yourself up well. Good luck on your journey.
Hey guys, this is Etienne. The best thing you can do to improve your game of Roundnet is to go to pickup. Just go get those reps. If there's a pickup happening near you that day and you have nothing else to do, don't be lazy, go to pickup. Play against many players as you can, play against different servers, different hitters, different defenders. By getting the reps, you'll improve your game automatically. And then if ever you don't have access to pickup, then 30 minutes a day. Practice your hits, serves, setting, just a few touches a day, all right? And then, go to many tournaments as you can as well. You'll get used to being in high pressure situations. You'll get better being uncomfortable in uncomfortable situations. So yeah, just go out there and show yourself, and yeah.
What's up, guys? It's Picone, and I'm just going to give you some tips and some advice on how to improve your Roundnet game quickly. Starting off with serving. Before anything, I think serving is all about consistency. Find a lane that you're comfortable hitting every single time, or at least 9 out of 10 times, and then that's your foundation. You can then build off your foundation and add in the fancy cuts and reverses and all the fancy serves you can get to clip people. But confidence from repetition is what's going to make your serve so dangerous and bring all that pressure into tournaments when you're playing your opponents. And pressure is the most important thing when you're playing tournaments. Then defense, I think defense is all about watching film and just having movement awareness, watching the best defenders and then comparing that to your own film and seeing what you could do differently to get to a few balls quicker and cut off those angles is so important to learn. And the most important thing is just judging sets and reacting from the sets, watching how those pro players are reacting from sets and seeing where their first step is going is so important, because getting in the right spot early is how you're going to get these defensive touches. You could be the most athletic person in the world, but if you're not in the right spot in this 360-degree sport, plus our boundary now, you're not going to be getting the touches. So being in the right spot early is so important, and the best way to learn how to do that is by watching film and learning how to react to sets. And then setting, it's all about the touch, hitting it up, setting it against the wall, really whatever you're doing, even when you're not playing and getting pickup, just getting touch, it's going to improve your muscle memory and you're going to be naturally getting better at it without even noticing. So just take the 5-10 minutes a day and just touch a ball back and forth and just juggle it in your own hands or against a wall, and you'll be improving faster than you're even realizing. Then with mindset, just try to focus on controlling the controllables, doing what you can, falling in love with the process, and I hope to see you guys on a net soon.
Hello, I'm Lucas Pruett, and I've got a few tips here that I think can help improve your Roundnet game. These revolve mostly around footwork and positioning. So the first tip would be something you can add to your training or practice, and that would be plyometrics and sprint training. So these really help with explosiveness, and footwork, and just overall athleticism. I've definitely found a pretty drastic improvement to my overall game after starting these, so if you're trying to get to that next level, I think this would be a good thing to add. The second tip would be something to look out for during games, and that's when you're playing defense, watching the hitter's hips. So instead of looking at feet or shoulders, which are moved fast, hard to keep track of, find it much better if you and your partner are adjusting based off the hitter's hips. Getting into position that way on either side of the hitter just allows you to cover better spots, move to better spots more quickly, and just apply better overall defensive pressure. So yeah, those are my tips. Hopefully they can help you out, and thank you, Kieran, for putting this together.
Hello, my name is Sunny Gu, and I'm a pro player from Boston, Massachusetts, and Long Island, New York. And if I had one piece of advice that I want to speak about that can help a new upcoming player, is the idea of being consistent across each defensive rep. What I mean by this is that, especially when I was getting into the sport, my first, second year, I always knew that there were some times where I wasn't focused, was not locked in, not getting the spot fast enough, being late to the spot. And I think that something that's super, super important is that, one, you understand where you're faulting and where you're screwing up on defense. Two, how lazy are you being on defense? Because I guarantee you, within 10 reps, within 20 reps, within 30 reps, the more times you're locked in, more focused, really taking each rep independently and understanding that each rep really, really matters. Even if you don't get a touch on the first, second, the third, guarantee you by the 5th, by the 10th, by the 20th, you will have multiple touches, given the fact that you're always getting to the spot correctly.
What's up, guys? My name is Paq Clifford, and I want to come on here and give you my one Roundnet tip on how you can improve your Roundnet game. I think this is going to be a little different conversation. I want to go towards the route of the mental, the route of forgetting the last play, the route of being kind to yourself when you don't necessarily do the thing you wanted to do in the moment. I know how important key moments are, the key set is, the key finish is when it's, 18s, 19s, extras, but the point of the game is to have fun. It's to enjoy yourself. It's to enjoy just being around competition, and it's important to just be really, really kind to yourself. Obviously, there's a time to reflect and refine your game, but I think when you're in those moments, you really need to just forget about it. Give yourself a pat on the back for saying you tried hard. I think people can find a lot of satisfaction and a lot of freedom in thinking this way. You'll perform better in all aspects of the game if you learn to forget, if you learn to just be kind to yourself, if you learn to not be too hard, be kind to yourself and always be your biggest cheerleader. Just know you can make the set, you can make the receive, you can make the serve, and everything will be okay.
What's up, guys? Buddy Hammon from Assistive Touch here, and as important as setting and hitting And defensive positioning is going to be important. If your body is not able to keep up with the demands that you're putting on it throughout the course of a tournament day, you're gonna fall behind. And if you start to cramp or if your muscles start to fatigue, you're not gonna play the best. And the deeper you get into tournaments, the more you have to be in shape to keep up with the competition. So having a good mobility and stretching routine, having some good strength training, having some agility and plyometrics in the mix, and also nutrition. Are you eating enough carbohydrates to support your activity? Are you having enough protein to keep muscle on your body? And are you having healthy fats to carry out normal bodily function? All of that is gonna be super important. And also doing some mindset work, right? Mindset around the sport. Also just doing things that can help you stay present and focused regardless of what's happening in each game or point to point. If that's something you need help on, I have a Roundnet training program that I took everything that I did to win the world championship with Clark in terms of my fitness and health and also mindset. And if you're curious about that, shoot us a note. But my suggestion for you is get your body and your mind right so you can play at the best of your abilities with the skills that you have.
Hi, this is Cummings. Most recently played in the Pro Division with Dawson Morgan as Virga. I've got two pieces of advice, the first being more general and the second being a little bit more catered to college. I'd say my general advice is to try to get better every single day. Practicing by yourself, practicing with a friend, pick up, film, any way that you can get better. There's a lot of momentum with that, and start to enjoy the game a little bit more. You start to see yourself exponentially grow and build on the things that you built the day before. For college, I'd say focus on the people that really care, the people that really want to practice and are really passionate about the sport. Even if they start down here, they're gonna get better and they're gonna grind. And then there's gonna be some people that come in up here really familiar with the sport, really good at the start, but not really sold on it. Invest in both, but the people that are gonna grind every single day and really care are gonna be the ones that stick with the sport.
Okay, my Roundnet tip for you is to not play Roundnet. Play other sports. Have fun, play pickleball, volleyball, tennis, hockey, soccer, golf, whatever it is. Your hand-eye is gonna get better. You're gonna improve on different aspects of your overall ability and athleticism more than just playing one sport of Roundnet over and over again at pickup. Your technical skills are gonna improve for Roundnet if you're doing practicing every day and training and serving, hitting, pickup, but you're gonna be an overall better athlete by playing different sports and getting different movements, motions. You're gonna have better stamina, agility, mobility, better hand-eye coordination, and those are all key elements to improve at any sport, not just Roundnet. And then by doing other different sports, you can also get a better feel for your mental awareness and who you are as a person and when to take over a game. You're gonna have times where you're up by 10 points and you blow it, and now you know what you did wrong. Okay, you have to be more mentally tough. You're gonna have games where you're down a lot and you have to realize, okay, let's change it up. Let's try different strategies here, let's get aggressive. Or hey, this thing isn't working, let's switch it up. So just having those different options that you can draw from in a Roundnet game, you can learn from playing volleyball pickup, in a golf tournament, playing pickleball, anything. So that's my tip for you. Play something different.
Hey guys, it's Thomas Hamilton. Kieran has forced me to make this video, so I have to give you guys some tips on what helped me become a top player. The biggest thing for me, and this is a tough one if you don't have friends, you need friends for this one, is playing Pepper. Any chance I'd get, whether it was with like one of my friends that was very high level or one of my friends that was lower level, I would just always be playing Pepper and working on hitting back to the partner and to set him in a way where he's going to hit towards me or set him in the middle. This has just gave me the most control over the ball and just like the most reps that directly contribute to an actual game. Yeah, so if you can grind Pepper. If you don't have friends though, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that.
Hey everyone, my name is Rahul Marino, and today I'm gonna give you some tips on how to improve your Roundnet game. First thing I wanna say is that your health is super important. I've come to learn that over the past year, that it's so important to take care of your body for long tournament days and practicing and all the awkward movements you do playing Roundnet. It's so important to stretch before and after tournaments, pickups, whatever you're doing, even on your off days, it's super important. it's also important to work on your conditioning, because like I said, those tournament days are super long. Your body gets beat up, and late in the day, working on your stamina is super important. Also, strength. You gotta work on strengthening your muscles. Any sort of movement in spike ball is gonna be awkward on your body, so having strength in your muscles is gonna go such a long way with injury resistance. Another thing that's tagged along with that, consistency. When you're practicing and grinding with your friends, it's so important to get those reps, whether it's playing pickup games or just practicing on your own, just keeping at it. Lastly, find a community near you. It's so important to just find a group of players that are willing to play the game, grind, practice, or just have fun, because the game is still so niche that any sort of playing is so beneficial. How do you do that? Go to a tournament near you. Odds are you're gonna find people that are in the same area as you. You just gotta ask around. Be a familiar face, be a friendly face, and have fun, because tournaments are great. That's all I got. Hope this helps.
Hey guys, my name is Rahul, and here are my quick thoughts about improving at Roundnet. My most important aspect of Roundnet is the hand-eye coordination. The better you are at it, the easier it is for you to win points. Once the server serves at you, if you can make a controlled touch, no matter how hard or fast the serve is, you're gonna have a better chance of winning that point. How me and Fred trained is Fred or I would stand at the net feeding balls to ourselves, and the other person would stand 7 feet away, and we would literally just hit it as hard as we can at each other. When we first started out, I was not able to get a single touch. It seemed kind of useless, but we're at a point now where he could hit it as hard as he wants at me, and I can make a controlled enough touch to just set it back to him, and he could just keep hitting it back at me. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a ton of other things, but that's what I value most.
Hey guys, it's Grant Clapp. I just wanted to share some quick thoughts I had about Roundnet training and overall mindset, specifically for serving. For me, everybody practices in their basement. We all know how to do that. But I would start with just going through my whole bag of serves, and I wouldn't be able to move on to another serve until I hit that one 10 times in a row perfectly. I think that overall just helped my consistency, and then after that I would just work on whatever I'm trying to develop, like a right hand or, you know, just like a jumpier reverse. I would just play around and I would try to figure it out by myself. Once you have a good foundation, I would honestly just recommend trying to figure out how to do everything on your own. And then overall, just like playing the game of spike ball from a mindset perspective, it's really easy to get lost in the competition. I found that whenever I just, not even just chose to be a good person, but when I was nice to people and I didn't, you know, like, oh, I need to win this game every single time, I found it a lot easier to just be content in losing. And because the reality is you're going to lose a lot. You know, this game is hard and anybody can beat anybody. So once you can become okay with losing, makes winning a whole lot better.